Hey everyone, it's Nenad, and today I want to show you the newest piece of gear that I added to my workspace, and it's the MX Keys mini keyboard from Logitech. The Mini is the little brother to the full-sized MX Keys, which I've been using for the last 2 years, and I can honestly say that I've really enjoyed using it in my day-to-day workflow. But if there's one thing that I don't like about the bigger keyboard, it's that it does take up a lot of space and it's definitely not as portable as I'd want it to be. There have been times that I've wished this keyboard was smaller and easier to carry around, so I don't know if having the number pad is a must for me anymore, especially if that means that I'm giving up portability. So when I saw that Logitech came out with a mini version, I had no choice but to check it out and see how it compares to the full-sized option. Let's first start off the video with a quick unboxing, then I'll take a deeper dive into all of the features and try to help you decide if this is the right keyboard for you. So here's the box that it came in, and I ended up going with the MX Keys Mini for Mac, which only comes in this pale gray colorway. We'll get into the specifics of what that means a little later on in the video. But the packaging feels solid, it's well designed, and having good packaging is definitely something you expect when you're buying a premium product. You'll see there's some details and pictures of the keyboard, and other than that, there's not much else to report. Opening up the box, the keyboard is the first thing that you see, and it's wrapped up in this white protective paper. Underneath it is a small black box with some documentation and a dark gray USB-C charging cable. Logitech included this reusable Velcro tie, which you can use to keep the cable nice and tidy when you put it away. Moving on to the keyboard, the thing that I noticed right away is that it has a nice weight to it, and the overall construction feels really good. There's a solid metal piece that creates a shell around the keys, and up top we have a plastic portion with a minimal Logitech logo, along with a battery indicator light off to the side. The back of the keyboard is made out of a plastic material, and there are 5 rubber feet to help keep it from sliding around. Overall, the build quality feels solid, and since the main attraction of the Mini is its portability, I have no doubt it'll hold up being thrown around in a bag or a backpack. Looking at the top of the keyboard, there's a USB-C charging port, and right next to it is the power switch. And speaking of power, the battery is located in this top portion, and Logitech claims that on a full charge, you can get 10 days of usage with the backlight turned on, and up to 5 months of usage with the backlight turned off. At the top of the keyboard, we have keys to switch devices, adjust the backlight brightness, a dedicated emoji key, and a few more keys that we'll go more in depth on later on in the video. So most of you are probably going to be interested in the Mini because of its compact size and its 30% smaller footprint compared to the full-sized option. The exact measurements of the Mini are 11.65 inches from left to right and 5.19 inches up and down. The Mini is also 46% lighter, coming in at 17.86 ounces. So in terms of its overall size and weight, you really shouldn't have any issues with it being too big or too heavy to carry around. One of the cool options with the MX Keys Mini is that there's a specific Mac model, but it only comes in this pale gray colorway that I have here. By going with the Mac specific model, you get a couple of dedicated keys down at the bottom, which are the Option and the Command keys. And you'll also probably notice that the function and the control keys are switched to match what you see on a standard Mac keyboard. Logitech did this to give you a better user experience when you're using the Mini with Apple devices. On the universal keyboard, the keys are laid out in a slightly different way. The function key is now over on the right side instead of the left, and Option and Command share the same key as Start and Alt. And it honestly doesn't really matter which version you go with, but if you know you're going to use this keyboard with only Apple devices, you might want to go with the dedicated Mac version to get a better overall experience. Just know that if you do go for the Mac version, you'll still be able to use the keyboard with a Windows computer, so you don't have to worry about that being an issue for you later on. When it comes to choosing the right keyboard, obviously finding one that you enjoy typing on is going to be the biggest thing for you to consider. But for me, I can honestly say that I've really enjoyed typing on the Mini. The keys have good travel distance and they feel really premium underneath your fingertips. The circular indentations on the keys are meant to improve your typing accuracy, but honestly, I haven't been able to tell if they've helped with my typing. On the Mini, the keys are made out of a really dense and high quality plastic that feel really nice to the touch. They also have great tactile feedback, which seriously makes it so easy to type quickly and accurately. You should know that if you're looking for something with the feel of a mechanical keyboard, I don't think you'll enjoy typing on this keyboard. The MX Keys Mini is way more quiet than a mechanical keyboard, and the keys have a much shorter travel distance. So if you're looking for that kind of a typing experience, I don't think the Mini is right for you. But if you like how typing feels on a MacBook or an Apple Magic Keyboard like I do, then I think you'll also enjoy typing on the Mini because they're honestly very similar. So let's do a quick sound test of a few different keyboards. That way you have an idea of what typing on the Mini sounds like. So you probably noticed that there's a big difference between the three. The Mini isn't as quiet as the 14-inch MacBook Pro, but it's significantly more quiet than the Logitech K845. Some people prefer to have the noisier mechanical keys because they give the user a lot of feedback when they're typing. I personally prefer typing on the Mini just because I'm so used to typing on scissor switches and I don't have to worry about disturbing someone nearby with a noisy keyboard. One of my favorite features that makes the MX Keys so easy to use is being able to switch which device you're connected to just by pushing one of these three keys at the top. The keyboard can be paired to 3 separate Bluetooth devices, and to switch which device you're connected to, you just hit the 1, 2, or 3 key, and it instantly connects to the device that's paired to that number. You don't have to worry about constantly unpairing and pairing the keyboard to the device that you want to use it with, which can be really tedious, especially if you're switching devices often. So I'm really happy that Logitech incorporated this into the Mini. It gives the user an easy and seamless experience, and it really takes keyboard workflow optimization to the next level. Now let's move on to the next feature, which is the backlight. The backlight on this keyboard is activated by proximity sensors, and it'll automatically turn on when there's motion detected above the keys. If the sensors don't detect any activity for a few seconds, the backlight will turn off until the sensors are triggered again. I'm honestly not a big fan of having the backlight constantly turning on and off, but it does help improve battery life. If you're asking me, I would prefer to at least have the option to keep the backlight on at all times. When the backlight turns off, it sometimes takes a second to trigger the proximity sensors, have the backlight turn on again, and then look down to see where I need to place my fingers. Another great thing is that you're able to customize the Mini with the Logitech Options app. The app is really cool because it allows you to set specific functions to certain keys. Each of the highlighted keys already has a certain function associated with it, but you can change it in the app just by clicking on the key and selecting its function from this drop-down menu here. There aren't too many choices from the list, but it's nice to be able to change them around. You can also have the keys function differently based on which application you're using. So you can set that here just by adding in the application and then going in and programming the keys however you'd like. It's not an extremely robust system, but it's definitely nice to even have the ability to customize the keys. So finally, let's talk about pricing. You can pick up the MX Keys Mini for $99, which is the same price as the Apple Magic Keyboard. I do have to say that the $99 price point is a bit steep, but this is definitely for someone who's looking for a more premium keyboard. I use the Mini almost every single day, and I really do enjoy all of the features that Logitech packed into it. So that's it for me today. Go ahead and drop a comment down below and let me know if you're thinking of purchasing this keyboard. Thanks for watching all the way to the end, and be sure to hit the like button and consider subscribing to keep up with all of my new videos. Thanks again, and see you next time.